Hi guys. So it's been about 9 months, I think a little bit more than 9 months since I first quit weed, and I have since smoked again. Um, I started because I was getting back into like tripping and stuff like that, and taking like empathogens and various different research chemicals and stuff. And at the end of these sessions, we kept thinking like, oh, it'd be nice to smoke some weed. And I thought, yeah, like it'd be fine to just smoke some to do that. And I've been thinking for a while anyway about like smoking again, because I was starting to miss it, and I was thinking like, for all the positives, I don't know, like there's also some stuff I'm missing out on, and I feel like there are obvious benefits to it on a kind of I think in terms of like personality stuff, like it can enhance certain aspects of your personality and make you see life in a different way, maybe a more like relaxed, humorous way, and more kind of abstract and stuff like that. And I think that's cool, and I value all those things, but I'm also aware of all the pitfalls of it, obviously. So anyway, so I smoked it a few times, like during or after tripping and stuff, and then sometimes I would continue to smoke it the next day because I'd still be at like my friend's house or whatever, so we would just smoke more. And surprisingly, I think it's because it was really quite terrible weed. Like I didn't feel very high. I thought after 9 months, even smoking shit weed, I would like feel something, but felt almost like, not almost nothing, but I didn't feel particularly high. I've definitely felt the effects of it, and it definitely worked, but like, yeah, it wasn't as mind blowing as I thought it would be. And yeah, it just hasn't been particularly enjoyable. It's a nice thing to do after like, taking something else. Like I combined it with 2CB Fly, and that was quite good. It wasn't as good as maybe I'd been led to believe it was. Perhaps it's because I did it towards the end rather than like early on. But yeah, I don't know. It's not. I guess it's been like disappointing, and in a sense kind of reaffirming. Like it's made me think like, yeah, it's not really. I think the things that I got out of it, or that I wanted to get out of it, I think I've kind of got them anyway. I don't think I necessarily really need to smoke to have that anymore. I think when I first quit, I was lacking certain things. I think I've found a way of kind of obtaining certain aspects of life without weed, so that now when I smoke it, I just sort of feel the negatives. Like I've been feeling a lot more sharp since quitting, and then the other day I was sort of noticing like I was just a bit like just stupid stuff, like it was just like taking me ages to get the right key to get in the house, and like that's fine because I was intoxicated like at the time. It's not like this was the next day, this was when I was actually high. But then I was like, and I just struggled to find the words for things, and just kind of seeing the difference between the two so starkly, like after having quit for such a long time, made me realize I don't really want that. Like, because I know that if I started smoking again regularly, that would become kind of a hangover effect. That effect would be there even when I wasn't actively smoking it, the next day, and because it starts to just build up in your system. And I don't really want that. I kind of value my like sharpness and whatever. So yeah, I don't know. There's been a couple of times this week where I've just like wanted to smoke for no real reason. And I've just been thinking like, oh yeah, fuck it, it'll be fine. Like I'll smoke tonight, and I'm a bit. I don't know exactly what's like. I don't know if that's I don't know if it's something that's actually manageable. Because it's nice to have something to do on the weekends. I don't drink, and like, there are worse things you can do than weed, but at the same time, as part of me is like, I feel like maybe it's like the beginning of that kind of weirdly convincing like addict voice in your head that just tells you like things are fine when they're not. Not that it's, it would be terrible, but like it's kind of a slippery slope with weed. I find you start smoking like, all right, I'll just do it on the weekends. All right, only evenings and weekends. And before you know it, you're just smoking all day, every day. And especially if you mix it with tobacco. And it's really hard to avoid that. And it's deceptively hard. It seems like it should be easy. You just think, oh, I just won't. It's not fucking heroin. But it's fucking addictive, really. Like, and it's sneaky. So I'm sort of torn between it. Part of me thinks I don't like the idea of this thing having control over me, where it's like I have to just never smoke it. Otherwise, I like the idea that I can just be like, no, I'll just have it once in a while if I feel like it, and otherwise not worry about it. But I don't know. I don't actually know. So I'm still trying to figure that out, basically. I will still use it like to, on like come downs and stuff. But thankfully, yeah, I've sort of been not particularly interested in it. The part that's worried me is I haven't enjoyed it, and yet yesterday I had kind of like a stressful day, and I was like, oh, fuck it, let's just have a smoke. And that's kind of stupid, because I haven't really, and as soon as I smoked, I was like, I felt fine. I'd eaten by this point, I had my dinner, and I felt much better after having had dinner. And then I started smoking, and I was just like, why am I even, I've already like rolled this, so I feel like I have to smoke it. I don't even really want it. Like, I feel fine, I feel relaxed, I know how this is going to make me feel, I know it's not going to really do anything for me. It's weird, because there have been wow, there is a bizarre cat in the window across the street from me. Jesus. It's like that cat from Friends, but like a tiny one. I guess it's not that bizarre, it's just a Sphinx cat or whatever, isn't it? They're pretty fucking weird to me. Yeah. This I was with Luna today at the park, and I was in the dog park, and there was this girl that had this jumper that said, "Trust yourself because you are a woman." And I was thinking, okay. And then her dog was like attacking Luna, like getting right in Luna's face and barking at her and being super aggressive, and like really like overly aggressive, and she wasn't doing anything. And I was having to like defend Luna from her dog and get in between, and she was just going like bingo, bingo, bingo. It means like come on, like in the same voice that you would reward or praise a dog. And I was literally having to shout at her dog. I was getting in its face and being like no, and like shouting at it to make it back off. She wasn't doing anything. So maybe you shouldn't trust yourself. And maybe if you do decide to trust yourself in future, you should do it because you're competent, not because of your fucking gender. Maybe you should just trust yourself. Maybe you should like develop the necessary fucking skills required to trust yourself. If you've got your dog attacking other dogs and you're not even going to put it on its fucking lead. Crazy. Completely irrelevant to this video anyway, but that cat just reminded me of it. Yeah. So yeah, it kind of, that worries me in a way anyway, the fact that I haven't really been enjoying it, and I've still kind of felt compelled sometimes to smoke it. So I feel like I have to like put a kind of, like a barrier in between me and it a little bit, and think about it, because I'm not one of those people. I don't buy into the AA thing of like you're an addict and you have to fucking like be sober for the rest of your life and you can never touch anything. And I think that's true for some people, but like I don't know, I don't like the feeling of that. I don't like the thought of it, and I don't really agree with it fundamentally, and as a general kind of mode of like dealing with substance issues or addictions or whatever. I just think it's too dogmatic and extreme, and it ignores the huge variety of substances that exist, basically. Especially as they see no problem with like cigarettes and coffee, which are fucking hugely destructive. And people think cigarettes, they're just physically destructive. Cigarettes are emotionally destructive. They destroy families. They cost society like billions. I mean, they're terrible. And I find that whole thing, whilst they obviously help a lot of people, I think there's a bit of a weird vibe to some of that stuff. And they're completely ignorant, well, as far as I'm aware, maybe it's changed now, but of like psychedelics and their like therapeutic benefits and shit. And yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I'm a bit hesitant about that, but who knows? I was thinking about it, and I think like sometimes it's like with. I was remembering the other day when I went to like a Catholic school and we used to have like mass and shit, and you remember they have the little pieces of bread that's like Jesus's body or whatever, and the wine that's like they keep reminding you like there's no alcohol in it, it's just like ceremonial wine, and like I always just wanted a bit, you know. I always just wanted some of the bread, you know. It's like, and they're like, no, it doesn't taste nice. It's just like, you know, a little flat piece of bread. And I was like, I know, I don't care. Like, I just fucking want some. I'm bored. Like, I'm at school. I'm in maths. I fucking give me a little piece of the bread, you know. Like, let me have a sip of that. I don't even care if it doesn't taste of anything. I just want some. I just want a thing. Like, I don't care what it is. I'm just fucking bored and I want something. And I think I have that mentality. I think weed has kind of become that for me at times, and I think that is why people get so sort of curiously addicted to it, because it's just a thing. It's just a thing that you have. Like, it's like the same way since I've quit like drinking, I'll have like a non-alcoholic beer quite often, and I don't particularly like the taste. They're alright. I mean, they're nice. They go well with food and shit. You know, they're okay. But like, I don't particularly care about them. But it's just like a thing to have. It's like, it's just, I don't know. It's like, I'm having my non-alcoholic beer. I'm having my little like thing. It's an event. And it's the same with weed. Something is happening. When you smoke it, it might make you feel worse, but it's like something is happening. There's some kind of change. If you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel comfortable in yourself, or you don't feel comfortable with life, you just feel bad about the way things are going. What is it, Luna? What is it? You've had a walk, you've had your breakfast. She's the fucking same as well. She's sitting here whining at me right now. You had everything you need, Luna. What do you want? You want to come over? Come here. Come here. No, she's chilling. No, you're coming over? Yeah. I don't think I can really show you guys very easily with my thing. Let me see. Say hello, Luna. Oh, there you go. Yeah. It looks like I have like incredibly tiny legs. That's just the perspective. I don't have weird little fucking miniature little pirate legs. Yeah, so yeah, everything is all just perspective. I'm actually like 6'9". It's just the fucking perspective on this camera. I actually have hair as well. There's some optical illusion going on right now. Yeah, anyway. And I think just people who are relaxed and happy, they don't often need or feel like they need things like that. A lot of them don't see the point in doing drugs, and they'll drink because it's like a social event where they're with other people and everyone else is doing it, but they're not like, you know. Some people are happy and still have addictions and stuff, but I think a lot of the time it is people who are just not quite comfortable with how things are, and they don't feel, you know, good, and I don't know. Yeah. It's hard to relax, especially if you've got a lot of shit going on, and it's sometimes I think people are sort of mildly desperate, really, and that's why stuff like weed can become so much more addictive than one would think it might be. So anyway, yeah, that's my update. I'm gonna sort of have some clear boundaries with myself with it. I'd like to think that this experience has been like kind of enlightening enough that, like, the experience of quitting has been enlightening enough that I won't be able to, you know, follow that path as far as it goes and get all the way to the point before where I was like smoking first thing in the morning, before fucking breakfast, before going to the toilet and everything. I would really like to think that I just won't, that just can't really happen to me again. Because I can't be bothered with that, and it's a lot of effort to stop, and yeah, I don't think it's necessary really to consume like anything every day, any like mind altering substance. I think it's better to try and make life more enjoyable and alter your perspective and be happier. Trying to do that, it's difficult, man. Like, fucking shit always just happens. Like, I had this period of like a month, probably a bit less than a month. I was so fucking happy after I first got Luna. I was like so happy, and then immediately like loads of terrible things happened. Like terrible. I mean, like really fucking terrible things. It's kind of funny in a way. I have to laugh at it a bit and think like, yeah, it's always how it's been with life. Like you sort of you pick yourself up and you're like, okay, like I've got this problem out of the way. This nightmare is over. Let's fucking, let's move on. Now it's time. Now I can finally start to enjoy, like, oh, no. Some other fucking disaster has happened. Some unthinkable fucking nightmare is taking place. So, yeah, I guess it's about dealing with that and having perspective and seeing it as probably like, like natural. Like I think sometimes maybe we have slightly lofty expectations of life. And anyway, yeah, not the point of this video really, but just to say, yeah, that it wasn't much of a tolerance break in terms of making the experience suddenly really enjoyable. I'm not hugely like impressed by the experience, and don't think I really need to sort of. I don't think there'd be much point in me starting smoking again. Certainly not every day. So yeah, I have to see. Anyway, cool. Yeah, sorry I was going on about a bunch of other shit in this video, but yeah, cool. Hope you're all doing well.